Viewers like you make this program possible. Support your local PBS station.
From the corridors of power,
Indigenous women know what's at stake,
to the front lines of fashion.
These pieces are so culturally native.
And from superheroes in comic books,
Indian ladies have superpowers and they look like us.
to real-life champions protecting the planet.
We have that responsibility to take care of the environment, especially if you're a woman.
Native women are carrying forward our traditional roles as leaders to make a better future for all. This is Native America.
They put a white guy in tan makeup. They put a black wig on his head. It's no wonder we ain't on TV. They all think we're dead. They write songs, they make movies about Indians long ago. All those pictures never look like Indian folks I know. Please do not touch the Indians. It's my world, my only home. Please do not touch the Indians. We are, we are, hey, yo. Old time West.
Being an artist is, of course, having talent, but also having a good business head on your shoulders. I think of myself not only as an artist, but as an entrepreneur, a businesswoman.
Aragon Starr is a woman of many talents. She's a singer-songwriter who's produced award-winning albums, a stage and radio playwright, and the creator of the cult comic book Super Indian, which she also illustrated.
I have always loved comic books. And what I noticed, a lot of the comics are drawn by men for men with a male gaze. Every time they would have a native hero, they reinforced all of the Hollywood stereotypes that you can think of. Scantily dressed, overly sexualized woman, usually wearing leather, fringe, feather on the head. I mean, think about the old Land O'Lakes girl. And I hated that.
Don't expect to do much learning from movies or TV. They'll put teepees in Seattle.
I thought, why can't we have something that's like written by us, drawn by us, that really reflects who we are? In my world, the Indian ladies are smart, they're funny, they have goals and dreams, they have superpowers, and they look like us. Those are the kind of women that I want to show, and I want to show those loud, brassy women that we have in our community too.
Super Indian is fictional, but Native women have been real heroes for hundreds of generations. Our powers vary across tribes, controlling wealth, building homes. We're healers, spiritual authorities, warriors. We can even appoint and dismiss chiefs. And our power continues to shape the world today.
What I have witnessed in my life with Native women and their power is that energy that they bring to their projects, and that power just radiates through the work that they do.
Right now, Native women are leading in government, in the world of art and fashion, and on the front lines fighting to protect Mother Earth.
I was out in my airboat in the Everglades one day. I stopped the boat and I just sit and I listen. And I remember hearing this voice in the wind. And that voice said, I am you and you are me. Indigenous women are the two-legged manifestation of Mother Earth. That's where we get our strength and our healing from and our nurturing from.
Betty Osceola was born and raised in the Florida Everglades.
My family, particularly my mother, was very strong and adamant about keeping our culture and traditions. I am of the last generation that knew some form of subsistence living because mainly what we ate came from what my brothers hunted for, what we went fishing for, what my mother grew, and that was our life.
The Miccosukee have lived in what is today southern Florida for hundreds of generations, thriving alongside neighbors of all kinds. But many native species are in danger of extinction. In just 50 years, Betty has seen a massive decrease of life in these wetlands.
Awa jahonga yagnet homo le peklemen ingikta. Himango salawaya yagnet nakfashaka na beshana bikta. Sugar hatke kavabe, sugar hatke shawe, iche, nogoje, ilachik impien agliget ilachikta. Itolet ke ilia machushkiliga ko jobet tachalolikta. Savet ulimga Pojet hito de mogen, ajajamga harlekilikta, the nokato like ongan, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. But as time went on, that loud, thunderous whoosh, whoosh wasn't as loud, and the panther didn't come through the yard anymore. Raccoons didn't come into the yard. No possums into the yard. The Everglades is a skeleton of its former self. I want to help heal Mother Earth and put it back to where it's alive and abundant with its wildlife, its plant life. We have that responsibility to take care of the environment, especially if you're a woman, because you're the life giver.
Betty draws on generations of Miccosukee teachings about respecting all living things and protecting the world in which we live. She leads prayer walks to raise awareness of threats to the environment and to organize people to save the Everglades.
I am descended from warriors, and I am a warrior, a peaceful warrior, a prayer warrior. I've used that to educate and share how we're taught to coexist with nature.
Sharing teachings and traditions can take many forms.
So it's just one extra pass. Because when we tried it the first time, we were at 4 minutes.
Here, it's expressed in art and fashion at one of the largest native art showcases in the world, SWAIA, the Southwestern Association of American Indian Arts, Santa Fe Indian Market.
Walk for me? Yeah, that looks great. Hey, Mom, I pulled this out and I knew I forgot to do something. So this is what I'm...
Jamie Okuma and her mother Sandra put the final details on a beaded dress.
You gotta go just along the edge of the thing.
This year, Swaya celebrates its 100th anniversary, and Jamie is a headliner of the fashion show just hours away.
See, like this right here, like that? Yeah. Right before a runway show, there's just so many moving parts, and you're dealing with hundreds of models. I don't know how many makeup and hair people, making sure everybody's right, making sure they look perfect before they go out there, watching details on every person. You comfortable? Hey, where's that bodysuit? You kidding me? Oh, you have it. We're good. Yeah, it's a lot. It's chaos. It doesn't really ever feel like anything's ever done. Turn it towards darker. Yeah.
Jamie's eye and how she applies it into her designs is unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I think that's what pulls people in.
Too fast, Kiara. A little bit slow down. There you go.
It's just very modern in approach and really refreshing to look at. One of Jamie's signature pieces is her hand-beaded Christian Louboutin shoes. I think that's the piece people fangirl over the most. I think it was really genius because she's taking a Western thing and making it native. It's kind of flipping the script.
Using glass beads and materials like porcupine quills, brass sequins, and chicken feathers, Jamie transforms a pair of shoes into wearable art. Her boots and clothing can be found in the pages of fashion magazines, in major museums, and on the red carpet. Jamie's work is both high fashion and fine art.
I'm not doing anything different that our people didn't do. It's just adapting to what I love and that I can turn into something different.
Native Americans have always decorated our clothing and items made to be worn. From shoes, to weapons, to baby cradles. It's an aesthetic tradition that spans all of Indian country and reaches back hundreds of generations.
Jamie Okuma really is a leader. She's been making dresses and beading since she was very young. She also has a really, almost like a punk rock edge to her work as well. For example, her beaded backpack with the spikes.
Amber Dawn Bearrobe is a guest curator at Swaya. She and her team put together the exhibition, Art of Indigenous Fashion, with pieces from over 20 leading contemporary designers, including Jamie Okuma.
We are big fans. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Really nice to meet you, too.
Indigenous design is the original design language of America, connected to this land and place of what we call Canada in the United States.
As a younger person, I moved away from that word Indigenous. I felt that I don't want to be boxed in. I want to be seen as a designer. But now I embrace that because it's who I am. And so, yeah, I'm proud to say that I am a Native designer, Native artist.
By embracing her Native identity, Jamie is breaking down the barriers between Indigenous and mainstream art. For Ruth Buffalo, embracing her values as a Native woman is guiding her down a different path.
I never thought that I would be involved in politics. All I had in me was my heart and seeing firsthand things that needed to be changed.
Ruth was raised to care about her community's most vulnerable people. And then a personal tragedy led her on a path to politics. Her younger sister died in a car accident on a dangerous bend in the highway.
The first summer after she had passed, I would commute every day, but I had to pass the crash site. We lost so many different community members on that particular curve, and so I wanted to help prevent other lives from being lost. I remember calling the North Dakota Department of Transportation and learned how to do an elevator speech. That road today is wider. It has an extra lane on it. So from seeing that progress being made, it kind of gave me more willpower to try to find ways to change policies and laws to help people live longer. Next thing you knew, I was running in a statewide race for insurance commissioner. I came in second, but that really inspired me to stay in this type of work.
In 2018, Ruth launched a grassroots campaign to represent her district in state government. She won and became the first Democratic Native American woman in North Dakota's state legislature.
This is a WDAY-WDAZ special report.
We're here at the last known location.
Ruth immediately took up the cause of honoring someone whose loss was still being felt deeply in her community.
Good afternoon. We have breaking news at this hour in connection with a missing pregnant woman.
Police have surrounded
An Indigenous woman from Fargo, Savannah LaFontaine Graywind, went missing. She was 8 months pregnant at the time.
Her family, along with police, tell us they heard from her last Saturday afternoon.
As the week went on, we just couldn't believe that she was still missing. And then once the family put a call to action on social media, a lot of us answered the call.
A week later, Savannah was found, murdered, her body dumped in a river. The abduction and death of Savannah LaFontaine Graywind is part of a disturbing national trend. In some counties, the murder rate of Native women is over 10 times the national average.
84% of Native women will experience violence within their lifetime. And as a mom, a sister, a big sister, and a daughter, that's really striking, and it's what pushes a lot of us to make sure that we are fighting for protections for everybody. We wanted to be prepared, we wanted to be organized, and we didn't want to waste time having to convince law enforcement to have rapid response to look for a missing relative.
As a state legislator, Ruth is now in a position to take action. Native women like her are fighting to address this national crisis.
The thing about Native women leaders is that they have that toughness, that backbone that is really unexpected, because I think sometimes that the world thinks they can just roll over us, and that's not true.
It was the biggest Indian guy in the history of the tribe. Custom overalls, a 4X shirt. Woo! He thought he had been to every stall. He would be the judge of them all. There goes Junior Fry Bread. He been looking everywhere. Hey now, Junior Fry Bread, the best bread's over there.
Humor is my through line through all of the work that I do, because humor is very subversive. On the surface, you go, ah ha ha, but then you start thinking about what was said and you go, ooh. I really think that you can clear up a lot of misconceptions and stereotypes with humor. And that's so important for all of the stuff that I'm doing.
I'm the king of fry bread.
Humor is right up front in all of Aragon Starr's work. Today, she's at the historic church studio, founded by rock legend Leon Russell and birthplace of the Tulsa Sound, a laid-back style of blues, country, and rock. Aragon's here to record some of her favorite songs in front of a live audience.
The key thing about the art that Native women are doing today is telling stories. People don't know these things. I mean, our community, we know, but to put them out there and really put them in a good way, I need to lift people up because I need to be lifted up.
Hey now, Junior Fry Bread, the bean bread is over there.
I've been called an activist, a protester, an environmental advocate. But I'm just being who I was taught to be as a woman of the Panther Clan.
Betty Osceola is fighting to protect the waters in her Florida homeland. She's consulting on 2 restoration projects she believes have real promise. One is a pilot project to help clean up Lake Okeechobee. She's joined by water conservationist Mike Elfenbein.
All right, thank you.
Welcome back.
All right.
Why don't you guys come on over here, watch your step. Go ahead, Betty. After you.
This barge is home to Green Mach 1,
Fire this beast up.
a prototype machine that collects and processes invasive plants.
I always say when you have clean water, your options of what to do with that water expand. I live further south, so everything north of me eventually comes to me. So that's why I'm always curious to see projects that are going to help the area above me.
Lake Okeechobee is the northern tip of a larger aquatic ecosystem that flows down into Betty's homeland. In 1930, the U.S. government built a levee system to prevent seasonal flooding and redirect waters for commercial agriculture. But the levee stopped the natural flow of water, and now one plant has taken over. It's blocking light in the lake, killing native aquatic life and disrupting the entire ecosystem of Lake Okeechobee. Green Mach 1 not only removes the invasive species, it also produces a slurry that can be used as fertilizer.
I see this as a good thing because you're not using any chemicals, killing anything. You're actually taking these invasive plants out and reusing it to put it over the landscape, kind of like helping nature do what it used to do. To me, I see this as not hindering nature, but helping.
We work with Mother Nature because Mother Nature knows best, right?
Yes.
You know?
She's a woman, that's why.
Yeah, we're putting back, right. We're putting back the natural process. In projects like this, everybody has to win. So you have to look at, is this helping the Miccosukee tribe? Is it helping the local ranchers? Is it helping hunters, conservation, wildlife, right? If everybody wins, the project wins.
Lake Okeechobee is kind of the canary in the coal mine. If we can't fix the problems that this lake is enduring, the rest of the system can't be fixed either.
From Lake Okeechobee, Betty heads south to tackle another threat to the southern Florida ecosystem. In just 40 years, global warming has killed 90% of Florida's coral reef.
I'm looking forward to going to visit Dr. David Vaughn with Plant a Million Coral Reefs Foundation and also try to find out how I can help him.
Come on in and see the corals.
Dr. David Vaughn is harnessing the power of nature to accelerate the restoration of coral.
This process that you're doing, how did you discover that?
I accidentally broke a coral into tiny pieces and I thought it was going to die. And instead it grew 25 to 40 times faster.
Oh, wow.
So I did it again with another one and all the species it works for. Corals of the same strain, when they are near each other and touch each other, they actually grow and fuse back together as one coral.
We could take a giant dead coral and regrow it in 2 years. This would take nature 1,200 years to be able to accomplish the same amount of growth.
Coral are living organisms. The reefs they form are home to more than 6,000 species of plants and animals. In southern Florida, the reefs also create a 360-mile barrier that protects the land and people from violent storms.
I feel like we should be planting these corals now, not waiting around. Because do we have that time to wait?
Betty's leadership as a Miccosukee woman is going to help this project. Sometimes people aren't drawn to just science, but sometimes people are drawn to spirituality. You know, so Betty helps kind of bring spirit into the science.
There's a reason why there's so many different colors of people. If we were all meant to be the same, that's how it would be. But for whatever reason, the creator wanted a colorful picture. We have our indigenous knowledge, but how can we help incorporate that with today's technology? We have to be open to listening to other ideas and see how we can all work together.
While Betty's voice is making a difference across Florida, Ruth Buffalo's work is bringing her to the nation's capital. She's testifying at the first congressional hearing on missing and murdered Indigenous women.
Thank you, Professor. Next, we have the Honorable Ruth Buffalo, State Representative from North Dakota, House of Representatives, 27th District.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here in front of you to share about this important topic. There cannot be, there must not be any more stolen sisters.
It's such a huge responsibility just to make sure that the words that I spoke came from the heart and that they were doing justice for the families and the communities that have been directly impacted by missing and murdered Indigenous peoples.
I would like to personally thank each and every one of our witnesses here today. Thank you, Representative Ruth Buffalo, for running and winning your seat. You were meant to serve. And I'm inspired by the vast amount of work that you've already done since you've been in your seat. So thank you so much for that.
Deb Haaland is a powerful presence at the hearing. As a member of the Pueblo of Laguna, she is one of 4 Indigenous women elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in recent years. In 2021, Deb Haaland left the House to make history. She became Secretary of the Interior and the first Native American woman to serve in a president's cabinet.
This moment is profound when we consider the fact that a former Secretary of the Interior once proclaimed his goal to, quote, civilize or exterminate us. I'm a living testament to the failure of that horrific ideology.
It's so important to have our Indigenous women represent all of us in these political systems and every level of government because we know what's at stake.
The moving testimony at the MMIW hearing will plant the seed for historic bipartisan legislation. But while Ruth's work is having an impact nationally, she still has to fight to get reelected back home.
Grew up in a large household, 3 older brothers, 3 younger sisters, and 2 older first cousins. This is where I had kindergarten. I got my lower tooth chipped in because we were running in from outside, like racing, and I won, but the individual that came in second got mad and pushed me, and I chipped my tooth on the doorknob. Yeah, this is my mom's house. Hi! Hi, geez! Hi! Hi, Mom. My mom has this informal title, basically, I think a matriarch, you know, being a pillar within the community. She's 70 now, but just a very hard worker. I mean, could outwork the next person.
Your mom's right there.
Yeah.
Kind of look like her.
Yeah, you do. Growing up, I think I got a lot of informal training on how to work well under pressure, and a lot of it comes from my mom.
That one. She's sticking her tongue out. Look at your mom. She's sticking her tongue out. Call it.
Fortified from her family visit, Ruth heads back to Fargo to hit the campaign trail.
For a state legislative district race, for sure having a strong ground game is so important, which means canvassing or going door to door, going to where the people are at.
She runs a grassroots campaign with a small team, the smallest being her 8-year-old son, Robert.
Hey, Robert, you ready? Thank you for coming with us. We could start on this side, huh?
In her first campaign, she and her team knocked on almost every door in her district, increasing voter turnout 105% in some areas.
Hi, my name's Ruth, and I'm a state house rep for District 27.
Cool.
And I'm running for re-election.
But since her first election, Ruth's district has been redrawn to include newly built suburbs.
Right, I know, that's
like everybody else,
exactly.
We're pretty fresh to the neighborhood, so.
And issues that got her elected the first time, like representation and voters' rights, may not have the same appeal to her new constituents.
Thank you. Thanks. Have a good day.
Maybe just put it on the door handle.
Can I give you a card? The top 2 most wealthiest towns in North Dakota were added to my district. Are there any issues that matter most to you right now locally?
You know, lower taxes, small business, I guess that would
Walking up to some of the homes, it felt very intimidating at times. Could I leave a card with you?
Of course.
Could I leave a card with you?
Sure.
Would love to continue serving the people of North Dakota and District 27. We should put some sunscreen on you. Good job, Robert. I hope that we can, earn your trust, your support, and your vote by November.
Yeah, well, just being here says a lot in general, so I will
thank you.
definitely do some research and some reading.
Okay.
Ruth is running on her record of protecting the underserved people in her community. But in a redrawn district that makes her old constituents a minority, that may not be enough to win a second term. For Jamie Okuma, even though her designs are featured in the fashion capitals of the world, she continues to work from home on the La Jolla Indian Reservation in the way she's always worked.
It's all hand done, one of a kind. Draped, pattern, sewn, all by me. I start with ideas and then I totally scrap them, like right before I start working. And then I'll start working and scrap those. I always have ideas and they always change. This is my first beaded piece. After attending my first powwow, I needed beadwork. And so my mom got some commercial hide and some beads, and she didn't sit down and say, this is what you need to do, this is how you do it. I really wanted to figure it out myself, and so I did. I can't even remember why I started doing this, but you'll see this design in a lot of my clothing. And this piece, I was making it to be for sale until my youngest wanted to learn how to bead. And so he started and did this right here. So I'm like, well, I have to keep that now. So I just haven't finished it. This obviously doesn't look native, but these pieces that I do are so culturally native because every tribe has their horror stories. My grandma she told me she's seen werewolves when she was little, and she wasn't to go into Pocatello because there's cannibals there. Hearing these things as a little kid teaches you to be safe. Not only is it culturally significant to me, but to find beauty in just the most horrible scenes is something that I feel my grandmother taught me. It's just how you perceive things, how you choose to look at things.
Jamie's mom, Sandra, is also an artist. They've worked together since the start.
I prefer having just family involved with pretty much every aspect. I mean, family's the best, and we all work very well with each other and don't take anything personally when, not that anything happens, but just that you can have that with family that you can't with other people.
Do you know who's wearing this?
Yes, that should be for Kara.
Okay. Grab this one. Hold it up. Don't let it go.
I try to be how she was for me to my kids. Really having strong boundaries of what you can and can't do as a kid. Our culture has always been important. My kids, they're really exposed to it. They live in it, you know, on a daily basis. It's just their life.
My mother, her church was music. And when she wasn't singing, she was playing, she was listening to music. I mean, that's who she was. My mother gave me that love of music of all different kinds.
We loved her.
Oh, oh. One day I tried to make a guitar out of a cereal box, and they saw what I was doing. They were like, well, you want to learn how to play guitar? And I said, yeah. And then Christmas time came, there was the guitar.
Oh, that's the picture.
I know.
Oh, that's a nice picture.
Yeah, that was at spring training.
Oh, really?
Spring training. Yeah, we were at Peoria in Arizona, going around, watching baseball like we do. Having the Native Praise Choir here was just really spectacular because Mom was so proud to be in their group. Her story was in these songs.
We call ourselves choir sisters. We've been together so long. Whether Aragon asked us to sing or not, we would be here. The very first song we sang was Amazing Grace. It had 3 languages in it. The first verse was the Cherokee language, then the Muskogee language, and then the Choctaw language.
She gave me that power to express my creativity however I wanted to. She was my biggest cheerleader and champion.
Don't forget to vote. Today is Election Day, November 8th, 2022. The polls close at 7, so it's 4:11 right now. What we're doing is just circling back through to follow up with voters to make sure that they do vote.
Is it today?
Yeah, it's today. This is the end of a large list of 186 doors. As far as like polling goes, you don't know if you're doing well or not, and so I feel super nervous. I've just been putting all my attention to the new areas of the district, and so I hope that was a smart move, but we'll see, we'll find out.
Can we take the walk?
Yeah, yep, I can put it.
While canvassing, Ruth comes across one of her constituents who can't get to the polls, so she gives her a ride.
This is so crazy. I was just seeing her commercial.
Really?
Yesterday. Not thinking I was or actually meet you.
I'm amazed at how many people are here. Look at this line. There's other polling locations too that we can take you to if you don't mind. I hope it's all good votes, good votes.
Don't be nervous.
Yeah, for sure.
You live in your purpose. This is what you was created for.
Thank you. It got me teary-eyed. Did you want to sit and have her push you, or?
Oh no.
No? Okay. Okay.
As the polls begin to close, Ruth makes her way to the election night party.
Hello, Fargo! One person that I'm going to bring up on stage right away, because I got a lot of energy for her. It's my good friend, Ruth Buffalo. Ruth, can you come on up? Ruth Buffalo.
It's an honor to be here with you today. I have a great deal of anxiety, as I'm sure everybody in this room does. But one of the text messages I received this morning from my uncle, I'll read it real quick. History of Native American voting rights. On the day the Constitution was ratified, Native Americans were explicitly denied citizenship, and now we have a Native American woman who has the potential to be elected into the state legislature in North Dakota. So I think regardless of the results tonight, please stay involved, please be good to one another, please lift each other up. So Madzigiradz, thank you.
I just announced Ruth upstairs at our watch party as having knocked the most doors in our entire party. I believe was 6,000 doors. Ruth really goes for it, and when she's got her eye on the prize, there's nothing gonna stop her.
Yeah, I think ours is gonna be close.
Having known her since we were kids, we've been doing this forever, you know, and we will continue to do this. Regardless of what the outcome of the election is, she's going to be advocating, she's going to be doing good work on behalf of marginalized people. So I'm not really worried that way, although I do want her to win. All right, you kicked up.
Really? Wow. The first numbers that were on the website, those were mail-in ballots, and I had a pretty good lead, and I was like, oh no, here we go again.
Ruth knows it's going to be close. She faces a nerve-wracking roller coaster of a night as she waits for the final results. After working on projects to protect the environment across southern Florida, Betty always returns to the Everglades, her spiritual center. She often visits this sacred tree island. It's the site of painful loss, the place where the Seminole and Miccosukee people hid when the U.S. cavalry tried to exterminate them in the 1850s.
During the last Seminole War, the cavalry were on horses, trying to hunt us down with guns.
Yakatisit, Holamlawacha Aglagat, Hovape, Mankahialit, Kajingikta, Hotekamochale, Honagnale, Ochabale, Yatochale, Yatamale, Lapkak, Ogahayuan, Holamlawacha Aglat, Kajingikta. Iyato chalet ogan kalabosli chai koen. Igalet yato chalet ebe echen stoliget ilben shupima batalek kalabosli chikta. Ogahayo ogan halam lawachik kaila koen. Shupitiget shalatawa le ogonaben lawachigen lukahichaman hitskilikta. Yakatisit malen gaelic updek. Shalatawalan, Sajikta.
They lost infants, elderly, children, and other people who drowned. So lives were lost so we could be here today. But now the Everglades needs our help. It's her time of need. And that's why I do this, because we owe her our life. Most Indigenous people are really spiritual people, and I pray a lot. And I listen to the messages. And one of the messages that I get is make them understand that nature is not our enemy. We are the enemy hurting nature. When the fire pops like that, we say the fire is saying Mado, which means thank you, Mado. Nature needs to be what it needs to be, not what mankind thinks nature needs to be. Somehow we need to get more people thinking that way.
Oh, does it fit?
It's like a glove.
To see your work on another person.
With the boots too, you look great.
It makes it very real. This year's Swaya show is its 100th. There will be more eyes on it. There's just more pressure to get things right.
This year, 15 designers are hitting the runway at Swaya to show off the latest in Indigenous fashion. And Jamie Okuma is a headliner.
You gotta go underneath. You gotta go underneath. There is no seam right there.
You'll always see who Jamie is through her work. The beauty, the stunning, the elegance, the resilience, the strength, the poise, the grace.
The second the last model gets off, it's a sense of relief. Oh my God. Because it's done and it sounds like it went okay out there.
It took a long time for people to notice Indigenous work, and now that they have, there's really no going back. I just foresee the future being brighter than ever.
Jamie's bold designs will continue to rock the fashion world from New York to Paris.
Oh, look, over here. See those pods?
But the source of her inspiration comes from home.
Oh, no. I like going to those places, but I couldn't live there. I want my kids to know our land like I have, like my parents have, and my grandparents. And the only way you can do that is if you're there.
In North Dakota, Ruth Buffalo will continue her work fighting for the rights of underserved people. But that work will not be done as a state legislator. Despite her early lead in the polls, Ruth lost her seat by 370 votes.
With redistricting, we knew that it was going to be an uphill climb. It was disheartening, and I was hoping to continue down this path, but there's always work that needs to be done.
While serving as state representative, Ruth sponsored key pieces of MMIW legislation that became law. North Dakota created a statewide missing persons database and a program to train law enforcement on how to investigate missing or murdered Indigenous people. Ruth's legislation inspired national action to combat the crisis of MMIW.
Savannah's Act addresses these discrepancies to find practical solutions.
In 2020, Deb Haaland helped pass a federal law named after Savannah LaFontaine, Grey Wind.
You don't crawl into a hole and disappear. You have to continue moving forward, and I will continue to fight for our most vulnerable people, because I truly believe that the success of a community, of a nation, is determined by how well the most vulnerable are treated.
She never walked on the trail of tears. Her heart knows where you are. Her love for him will last longer than the stars.
Native women are transforming the world through their unfiltered, uncensored lens. I mean, finally, it's our gaze.
Native women are having our moment. But in fact, for centuries, we have held power as decision makers in our families, communities, and nations.
I started creating when I was 5 years old, and it wasn't for anybody but myself. And then it just progressed to where we are now. I'd be making art regardless if anybody saw it or not. I mean, this to me is as important as breathing is.
What makes Indigenous tribal leadership different? It's that we think not just for today or for ourselves. We think 7 generations ahead and for the entire community. It's all of us.
We were always taught that we don't own anything. We're only caretakers of this creation. As a woman of my clan, it's a part of my responsibility to make sure that my future generations have that opportunity to experience Creator's creation.